Okay, so I'm going to go through our project 2. So similar cadence of project 1, but we're going to focus a little bit more on grading and less on pattern corrections this time. You'll still have both, just not as intensive into the pattern corrections as we did in the first project. So this project, we're going to make a bodysuit and cargo pant. So we can practice grading. There's some interesting grading components with, tank tops, sleeveless garments that have more like straps, and then also with the crotch depth and the fact that a bodysuit is one piece. And then we will focus on pockets and pocket placements as well when we grade the pants. Okay, so you guys have 2 weeks to do this. You are going to update the block patterns that we've given you following the sketch and the graded spec. You're going to create your own rule table based on a fully graded spec that is being given to you. You will break apart your pieces, create your model editor, create an order and a marker for each fabric in the styles. Okay, so for creating the base pattern, the bodysuit matches specs already. The base size does not need any alterations. Okay, so this is your bodysuit. You have 2 pieces, a front and a back. Both will be mirrored. So all you have to do for the bodysuit is to create grade rules. Okay. For the pant, you will need to make some alterations. So you'll need to check and adjust all the measurements. Some of the measurements might not be changing, and make sure placements of the measure lines are correct. All placements of the measure lines are correct. These don't need to be moved. Okay, so with the pants, I'm giving you a basic block, okay, as in darts, etc. But we're making a gathered elastic waist pant. So we're going to take the darts out, but we're going to leave the fullness. So really, we're just going to delete the darts. We're not going to rotate them out or close them or anything. And then we just need to match our waist, hip, thigh, knee, and leg bottom to our specs. And then we'll check the rise. The rise on the front and back are okay, but we'll have to adjust our waistband according to our spec. Okay. Then we'll make our pockets and we'll mark the placements on the pants. Okay, and then we'll create grade rules. So this video, I'm just going to walk you through the changes to the pant. Okay. All right, so the first thing we need to do is remove our darts. So I'm going to do modify, delete line, and choose both my dart legs. Okay. I also have an anchor point for both apexes. I'm going to delete those. I'm then going to delete these points that frame up the dart, but I actually realized I need to combine the lines first. So you can see with the dart, you usually have a separate segment that breaks up your waistline. So I'm going to merge those or combine them. So I'm going to use modify line actions combine and choose all 3 lines and say okay. Okay. Then once they are combined, I can delete these points, including the notches. Okay. All right. I'm going to do the same on my back. So I'm going to use modify, line, combine, and combine all 3. Okay. And then I'm going to delete my points. Okay. All right. So the next thing I need to do is go ahead and measure everything. I'm going to alter my side seams all in one action. So I'm going to go ahead and verify, and I'm going to verify my waist is 34 inches. I'm doubling, okay, because my spec has circumferences. My hip is 40 1/4. I'm writing all these down so I can do my calculations. My thigh, I don't need to double, is 26 and about a quarter or 3/8. 17. My knee is 22 and about 5/8. And my leg bottom is 19. Okay. So then I'm going to look at my graded spec. Okay. So again, with your graded spec, you have two tabs. So the pants are on the first tab. The bodysuit is on the second tab. Okay. So on this tab, I'm starting with my waist, hip, thigh, knee, and leg bottom. So my waist circumference expanded. This is what goes into the elastic waist, okay? This 29.5 just refers to what the elastic band will measure. So 38. So, and then my current waist is 34. So I need to take 4 inches. I need to add 4 inches to my waist, and I'm dividing that by 4 side seams. Okay, I'm not going to alter my angle of my rises. So I basically need to add an inch to each side seam at my waist. Okay. Then my hip, I have 42.5, and my current was 40.25. So that is 2.25. Okay, divided by 4. So we're going to go through each of these and figure out what our measurement differences are. Okay, so just know that for the waist, the hip, and the thigh, you're adding everything at the side seam. For the knee and the leg bottom, you'll add evenly to either side. Okay, that keeps your leg balanced. But with the knee and leg bottom, you just have the 2 panels, so you're still really dividing it by 4. So the calculation is still the same. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I've done my calculations. So again, the waist and the hip, you're dividing by 4 because you have 4 side seams essentially that you're adding to, 2 backs and 2 fronts. For the knee and the leg bottom, you're also dividing by 4 because you have an out seam and an inseam and an out seam and an inseam to equal your full knee and your full leg bottom. For the thighs, you're just dividing by 2 because we're not going to add to the crotch extension. We're only going to add to the side seam, which means I have a back side seam and a front side seam for my thigh. Okay, so I've done those calculations. I'm going to use the create offset uneven, and I'm going to do each one all at the same time. Okay, I'm on replace so that I can go ahead and I don't have to swap my lines after. Okay, so I'm going to start at my waist and I'm going to go out 1 inch. My hip goes out 0.5625. My thigh, okay, I don't have a point at my thigh, so that's a good thing to remember is that I need to make sure I have actual points at each intersection. You'll need them to grade anyway, so it's not a waste to add it. So I'm going to do create point at intersection and click on my thigh and then my side seam. I'm going to go ahead and add one here. Okay. And then I'm just going to make sure I have one at my hip, have one at my knee with a notch, knee, notch. Okay. All right. So let's go back. Offset uneven. So I have 1 inch. I have 0.5625. I have 0.3415. I have 0.258 and 0.875. So this is like a wider cargo pant. Okay. I'm going to do the same to my back side seam. 0.625, 0.345, 0.258, and 0.875. Say okay. And then I need to do my inseams. So this is 0.875. This is 0.258. And this is 0. Okay, same here. 0.875. Oops. And 0. Okay, so we get a little bit of a wider waist to thigh, curve and ratio. That's okay if I want to check the balance of my pant and match my seams. I still have a balanced pant here. Okay. All right, so then I'm gonna extend these lines, and that way then I can measure them and just make sure that everything matches what my spec says these measure lines should be. Okay, to do my knee lines. Okay, then I'm going to check my inseam front rise and back rise. So my inseams, remember your back will probably be a little bit shorter than your front, so we'll use the front as our guide. So our inseam target is 31 inches. We're at 30.5. So I'm just going to take a 1/2 inch and add it to both. So I'm just going to do create offset even, and I'm going to do a replace, and I'm going to do both. Oops, clicked too soon. Bunny click and just do 0.5. Okay, so now I'm at 31 inches. For my front and back rises, I'm going to measure front rise with my waistband is 12.8 and my back rise with my waistband is 16.5. Okay, so if I look at my front and back rise, they're supposed to be 13.5 and 17.25. However, if I look at my waistband height, it's supposed to be 2 inches, and right now it's 1.25. So the first thing I'm going to do is make this larger, okay? So I already have like a fold line and my notches, so I'm just going to go ahead and do offset even on both edges of my waistband. So I'm going to offset 0.75 to make it 2 inches, and I'm going to do this side as well and do 0.75. Okay, so now if I look at my front rise plus my waistband, I have 11.5 plus 2 inches is 13.5, and that is my target spec. Okay, and then I have 15.25 plus 2 inches is 17.25, which is my target spec. Okay, so no need to change your front and back rises on your patterns, only update your waistband height. Okay, so that's everything for the pattern corrections on the pant. The next thing we're going to do is start marking our pockets. Okay, so front pocket opening at waist from side seam is 1.5 inches. Front pocket opening at side seam from waist seam is 7 inches. So basically what I'm going to do is create a 2-point line, and I'm going to bunny click here, and I'm going to type in 1.5, get out of value mode, and I'm going to bunny click on the side seam. Whoops, I didn't bunny click, sorry. So I have 1.5, and here I'm going to do 7 inches. Okay, so that is my slash pocket opening. Okay, and then I'm going to create my pocket bag depth and width as well. These are going to be it's going to be a rectangular piece. Okay, I'm going to continue the pockets on the next video because I'm about out of time.